fans, don't forget to hit the membership up, sign up, and become a member so you can start getting stuff right away. We finna start working, giving y'all stuff tomorrow. Start kicking it out. Now, Predator 3. How many of y'all didn't know Predator 3 was way intense? Predator 3 was supposed to come out a long time ago. They kept waiting on Arnold. Instead of bringing back Danny Glover and his character, they were bringing back Arnold. But the problem was, Arnold wanted to bring in his own director and his people to work on the film, and he never liked the script. See, Predator 2 was changed once Arnold wasn't in it. He didn't originally like the script, just like the first Predator. The first Predator was supposed to be Arnold alone on a mission. He decided to bring a team with him because he said it wouldn't make sense for him to be out there alone, one-on-one with the Predator. It ended up being him alone in the end, but you had the whole cast, which made Predator stand out. Every character was significant in their roles. From Dutch, from Dylan, all of them. Like, you remembered them. That was good character development. Duke. Oh, sweet Charlie, good to me, and every day, and every day. Oh, baby. You knew that him and Blaine Jesse the Body Ventura, you know, when they had his body out there, they understood one or two things. Those two been in a lot of wars together and came out unscathed. So Duke's whole thing is, I'm gonna get them back for you. I'm gonna carve my name right into them. Carve your name into them. So that was the only thing that was holding him together. And he was a sergeant. And dude, he outranked all of them. Now, in Predator 3, now that Predator 2 had went, and it did have some success, Predator 3 was going to be different. Predator 3 was going to have Arnold in a military mental facility. He had a beard. He was totally wild. Like, he was completely, they thought he was insane, but they knew he wasn't insane. So they actually took all his information and started the whole Olive Corporation. And that was like outer space, life forms, investigation, and all that, whatever it meant. But they have the Olive organization, and they were keeping him enclosed, and he didn't want to go outside. He felt like he was being treated for radiation. He had radiation sickness from when the bomb went off, and he was out there, and even though he jumped in the water, he was suffering from radiation sickness. So it took a while for him to recover from that. But mentally, he hasn't recovered from his encounter and what he just went through. And he keeps trying to prepare everyone. He's been writing on the walls, writing the strategies, that everything, telling them that they're sensitive to the cold, and this is how we can beat them. They're humanoids, And he had been doing some research while being in that facility that other people have had stories about them, and they were just outcast as kooks, or they're crazy. So he was trying to find all those stories, and he was putting pins and maps in all those locations. And these were like war-stricken areas. Like all these areas were hardly driven by war. So the person that came and broke him out of the facility was nobody other than Danny Glover. Danny Glover came and found him with the guy that was in part 2 at the end who worked for Olive. He no longer worked for Olive anymore. He came in with Danny Glover's character and broke Arnold Schwarzenegger out of the facility. And he says, you need to be outside. Because he's like, we need information because they will be back. And then they showed him a photograph from like Guatemala or something like that. And they showed the people that they were skinned alive. And then look at this technology, it's alien. And what had happened was, it was 2 predators this time. Wasn't one, it was 2. They sent 2 predators out to hunt. One was a female and one was a male. So even back then, they were ahead of the curve with the female predator. So the female predator, her thing is she the one had the net that like contracts, that just as soon as it gets on you, it just starts contracting. She was the one that used that mostly for her prey. Arnold almost snaps out of it immediately and realizes it's game time, it's game on, and that they have to hunt these things and take them down. So he tells them they have to lure it into a cold location, and told them over here is where it's cool at night. That's the best time to hunt them, is at night. It gets cool in this area. The temperature drops to like 70. We used the mud, but they had cold packages to keep their body cool. They knew the rules. But these predators were different. The cold didn't help you. They could see you anyway. So they had different tech that was advanced enough to see that, even if you were doing that. One of them had a disc that goes in the air, breaks into different pieces, and then shoot lasers out across the whole field. It could take down trees and everything. She was way advanced. Her art design was crazy. She had one that comes up over here and one that comes up over here. She had like these shoulder pads, and her cannon, instead of the claws, she didn't have the claws, the 2 knives. She had the net that shoots out. It would catch you and then just contract till it just cuts through your skin. Now we've seen that in a lot of the other predators. Oh, the plot was great. It was very well thought out, condensed, everything. Arnold wanted to make some tweaks to it. Danny Glover's character gets killed, saving Arnold Schwarzenegger. The guy who was in part 2 gets killed, but Danny Glover dies, like helping him. And they get him on the helicopter, but he ends up dying. Like, he saves Arnold's life with the predator. And then the second predator is injured but still alive, as the movie was going to continue to part 4. The other predator was still alive and on Earth, but it was injured really bad. Arnold set a trap with wooden bombs. It was like a bomb, the tech bomb that go off, And he says they can see the technology. And what they can't see is like trees, ropes, anything of that nature. So to stop the one predator, to beat him, they had the bomb there, and the predators saw the bomb, so they stayed away. So when the bomb did go off and they set it, the predator was out of the range of the bomb. But when the bomb went off, it released like a rope, and it was like all these little wooden, like they had carved these wooden things so sharp, so they all of them just blew, boom, and they just went through the predator. Holes everywhere. It was like a lot of them. They had carved him up. And it goes to find out that he was carving those ever since he got out. When they put him in that mental facility, he was carving all of these out of wood. Just these like little wood bullets. That's basically what you could call them, like wooden bullets. And when those explosions went off, they just shot right through him because they couldn't see him. So that's how he ended up killing the female predator. And the male predator got injured in some other way they had in that script. But Duke was with a whole nother team. They had another strike force team. Most of them got wiped out. And he was going to stay in the field. He wasn't coming back. He was going to hunt down the other predator. He's like, nah, I don't want any more men to die. It's me and him. And he put Danny Glover on the helicopter, and Danny Glover died on the helicopter on the way there. So yeah, they had a guy for comedy relief. The characters they was gonna play, they had a role that they wanted. The special detective guy, I forgot his name. He died. He survived at the end of part 2. That guy got, my God, he got like impaled, like through the chest. The other predator, the male predator, got him. He had a special made gun for the predator. It was like a Cool Ray, and he had this tech gun, and that didn't save him. He shot the predator with that and like got its attention, and the predator, man, annihilated him. He didn't just stab him, he pushed like the knife and his fist through his chest. Yes, it's a much better movie than Getting Nothing. So they had the money. He wanted Joel Silver to produce it. Joel Silver was going to produce the movie and put it together and make this thing a big action film. Nick Nolte was supposed to play the director. The guy that's in charge of the whole Olive program was ran by Nick Nolte. They had a female that was going to play a female who was going to be the operative. She was like the love interest, oh, don't do that, let me give you intel chick. They had a female ready to play her. She was, I forgot, you've seen her in a couple of movies, can't think of her name, but she was involved. Geena Davis, that's her name, Geena Davis. Geena Davis was going to play that role. Well, when we did get a Predator movie, one that made sense after the Alien versus Predator debacle, well, the first Alien versus Predator was all right, but I felt that a lot of scenes in there didn't feel like the Predator. The damn show, the last one was just so retarded. It just didn't make any sense whatsoever. I think they gotta like step back for a minute. I liked Predators. Okay, Predators were good. Now that was a good one. The guy who played Hawkins in part one, was the first person out of the crew that got killed. Hawkins. He directed and produced the Predator, the last Predator movie. I knew the movie was in trouble when the Predator stuck the guy's hand into the door and he had the thumbs up. When he put his hand and his arm in the thing, it got a laugh in the audience, but I said, "Oh, we in trouble." Then I watch a woman keep up with a predator running. I'm like, Olivia Munn can keep up with a predator? And she's like, "Oh, I see it. I can keep up with it." No, you can't. I'm like, what predator have they been watching? You can't keep up with a predator running. These things can leap from trees to tree and fly when they on the ground. That's what made them unique. Danny Glover needed a car to keep up with him. Arnold Schwarzenegger couldn't get away from the damn predator. If he tried, you can't outrun that damn predator. No, the ending wasn't bad with the guy having with the predator killer. Arnold Schwarzenegger was supposed to appear at the end of that one. And he said, I don't like the way this is going. He was going to be the predator, the hunter, or whatever, the predator killer. That's what part 3 was leading into. He was going to be a predator killer. And he was supposed to show up in the movie Predators. And when the ship, the person that came to rescue them, and that's how they got off the planet, because they were still stuck on the planet and didn't know where they were. They just got dropped off there and was hunted. The person that saved them was Arnold Schwarzenegger. He had on a predator like suit thing that he made. He was like a predator hunter. He was a warrior. No, Predators made more sense. You know, this one was a fan, like he was in Shane, Shane Black is the guy's name. He played Hawkins. He was a comedian in there, so it's only fitting that he goes out the same way he came in.
For Comedy at Noon.
I can't believe what they're actually saying. They get so stupid with this garbage that they put out. No, no, Predator 3 would have been crucial. On the Patreon, we finna really get into it and talk about a lot of behind the scene things. So we finna start posting some stuff tomorrow. A lot of information you didn't know that went on, and stuff that almost happened that you would be shocked about. Not really, because a lot of different things would have to go wrong in order for those things to, to rear its ugly head. It's gonna have to, have a lot of things appear. Probably in succession, you know. Mm-mm. Predator 3. I told you it was two predators. Two predators. A female and one male. They sent two predators. Danny Glover character dies. Arnold was in it, but Danny Glover character died. Well, it's always going to be talked about, but that script is amazing. Like that part 3 is amazing. It got some stuff that needs to be fixed, but that's the main part of the script. That's the best part of it. Like they have something at a restaurant where a predator walk in a restaurant. It's really stupid. Like it's supposed to be a joke. And he's in the back eating the beef and they come in. It's just it was an all clown moment. Just takes away from the levity of the film. I'm quite sure that would have been on the editing room floor. This is what Predator 3 would have looked like now if they do Predator 3. Predator 2 wasn't bad. It just, they just couldn't really land that plane. The fight scene was actually okay. It's just certain scenes that just didn't make sense. Characters weren't flushed out. It was just a bit of a mess. And to move the story along, they had to basically explain everything out. And people just guessed a lot. Predator arrives, and as you can see, this is based like on that script. Arnold went back to the grave sites of his men to honor them that died in the first Predator. That's in there. All of this is basically the original Predator 3 script. Here come the new Predators. They arrive, the male and female. They get dropped off. They got a new team to hunt them down in Guatemala. Yeah, they go into a whole hunt. Predator is taking people out with all their weapons. Yeah, Arnold was supposed to be in the suit. Wasn't supposed to be a suit for somebody else to put on. Oh, I look forward to it. So what we're going to talk about probably first is Halloween. That'll be the first thing we're going to talk about behind the scenes. Did you know there's about 68 scripts to Halloween? Like all sequels and everything. Like they've had a whole series of trilogies set up. There is about hundreds of different Halloween scripts. I mean, dog, it's like 60 that I found. Like this Halloween Asylum is the original Halloween H2O, which was really Halloween 7 or whatever. Yeah, it was crazy the way they came up with it. It ended up becoming Halloween H2O. The original script for that, at the Halloween Resurrection, then there was another Halloween that was set up at the Resurrection with Busta Rhymes returning and getting killed in a battle with Michael Myers at the Michael Myers escape from the morgue. There's so many different Michael Myers movies, and we're gonna definitely talk about that and what happened there. And like Asylum, he basically gets electrocuted and turns into like an electrical, using electrical currents. He can electrocute you now? Yeah, it was totally stupid. They tried to execute Michael Myers, and then it goes wrong, and then he gets powers where he can like electrocute people. So yeah, then it's like Asylum 1, Asylum 2, Halloween Asylum 3. It's believe me, it is so many different scripts, so many different writers, so many different teams of writers have come in. It is nuts. Even for the films you got, the original version of Halloween Kills, the original version of Halloween 2018, the Rob Zombies, like those are different. It is beyond nuts. So we're waiting on people to just start signing up for the memberships. You can click the link in the description box and get that. But this is Predator 3, how it was lined up to be. Um, and this was going to go into a sequel. It was a continuation to go right into Predator 4, where it's going to be Arnold staying out there to challenge the Predator, who was already injured. They had a Predator that was injured already and was like on the run. And Arnold said he was staying out in the woods. He didn't want to go back. This is where he was going to go out. He was fighting this Predator and, stopping him. And that was that. And Danny Glover dies on the way to the hospital. It was looking like how Arnold was at the end of part 1, how he's looking out. And then he just like fades off and dies as he going back and was rescued, and Dutch is out there on the mission trying to find the Predator. He's hunting him because the other Predator's injured, so he was out in the field. So Predator 4 was going to be set up after the Predator 3 premise. When that wood bomb with all those wood chips that he was making in the prison cell, when they had him basically there, and he did all this research, and he had for over the years just kept making these wood chips with these little sharp wood bullets. So when the actual bullet, the gun bomb went off, it was just like he did in Predator, how he distracted the first one when he set a two-way trap. He had one trap come in where the Predator could actually see it, and if he saw it, which he assumed that the Predator would be smart enough to see that one, and would walk himself into the other trap, which is the one he wanted to be caught. Predator 2 just lacked the genius of part 1, the smarts, the intelligence. It lacked that. It was just a basic movie. One-on-one slasher, Predator and Danny Glover fighting on the ship, and it just was dumb how they had that set out. Now I'm like, dude, he got hit with like a sawed-off shotgun. The Predator did in the chest, like 5 blasts. Boom, 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 boom. I'm like, he gonna be really in pain. Humanoid or not, he gonna be up out of there. Oh yes, sir. So anyway, I'm gonna holler at you. Deuces.